The case you're about to see is a fictional one, but the procedure is legally accurate. The characters are played by actors, but the jury is selected from members of the general public.
Clifford Grant, in this indictment you are charged on the following counts. Firstly, that on October the 31st of last year, you did enter St. Peter's Cemetery and broke open a mausoleum, and on this occasion removed 2 corpses from their coffins. And that you then entered St. Peter's and did damage to church property to the great scandal and disgrace of religion. How do you plead?
Not guilty.
Secondly, that you attempted to divert the course of justice by issuing threats against Detective Sergeant Rice, a witness for the prosecution. How do you plead?
Not guilty.
Thirdly, that you further attempted to divert the course of justice by issuing threats against the Reverend Howard Davis, a prosecution witness. How do you plead?
Not guilty.
You're here, then?
What do you want?
I hear you've been through a nasty time.
Better, thank you.
I'm glad.
What do you want?
Nothing.
Then please leave me alone.
I wish you no harm.
I have this.
I can see.
If you send anything, it'll be caught in the mirror image.
What would I send?
And I have this.
Come on. You wave pentacles about to warn off demons, not people. Not me.
You say you wish me no harm.
It's a great pity it should come to this, don't you think?
I am not responsible.
You're all responsible. There's no law against being a witch now. In the old days they were ignorant, but they were responsible. There's no inquisition now, no water immersion. If you sank, you were innocent. If you floated, you were guilty. Either way, you were dead. Drowned or hung. Would you like to be dead?
Why are you saying this?
All you have to do is jump into a river and let the water wrap around you and be still, and sleep would come. Wouldn't you like sleep to come like that?
I've warned you, I'm protected.
It would take an enormous charge to curse you. An enormous charge of power.
More than you have. It would hit the mirror image and rebound on you.
Come on, don't let's play childish games. Look, there's nothing for them to go on. You don't think they'll begin to understand, do you? That lot in there, any of them. They'd like to be trying us for witchcraft if they could.
They'll understand what happened.
Aren't you carrying this a bit far? Do you want revenge that much?
Is that what you think?
That's what I said.
I can hear what you're saying. I don't know what you're thinking.
You still love him, don't you? And you're so bitter you'll accuse him.
You know the truth.
You'll give evidence?
I'll do what I think right.
Mrs. Brand appears for the defence and Mr. Lloyd for the prosecution. Mr. Justice Stoddard presides in the case of the Queen against Grant. Mr. Lloyd has just called his first witness.
What is your religion?
Anglican, Church of England.
Take the book in your right hand and read aloud the words on this card.
I swear by Almighty God that the evidence I shall give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
You are Charles Hunt, and you are cemetery foreman at St. Peter's Church, Fulchester.
Best part of my working life. Started off as a grave digger. It's a beautiful cemetery, you know. Very historical. I could recommend it to anybody. Dead, that is.
Yes. Would you tell the court about the vandalism at the cemetery?
Well, it must have been a couple of years ago. I went in one morning when the mausoleum doors had been broke open. And I went to one of my diggers, like, see if it's seen anything, like. Follow me meaning, me being on the word it's side, straight off. Well, he didn't know nothing, not a carrot's worth he didn't. So I went and had a word with the vicar about it, and he said to put a new lock on, a heavy one. And then if we didn't find a poor soul lying in the grass...
A poor soul? Do you mean a corpse?
Aye, taken out of his coffin he'd been. Well, we put him back and the vicar said a service.
Were the police informed?
No. Like the vicar said, it'd been a bit distressing for the relatives. But it did ask us to keep watch, and Following night, I thought it was my duty. I spent following night in cemetery.
Now, subsequent to this, were there other incidents at the cemetery?
Aye, past 12 months must have been half a dozen times mausoleums were broke open. They only had to break locks off, you see. And if a body was took out, well, the vicar done a prayer. We didn't know we were doing it, and last October I saw him with a big chunk of wood.
The accused?
Aye. He said he were looking for vampires. Well, I thought he were pulling my leg.
Yes, that's quite understandable.
Corpses all over, he ought to be put away.
It had nothing to do with me. They'd let out a vampire.
Be silent.
I told him there were no vampires in the cemetery. That son give a vampire a taste of my shovel, I can tell you.
One moment, Mr. Hunt. Mrs. Brand, does the accused really believe that there are such things as vampires?
He does, my lord.
Well, in the light of this fact, I cannot see that he's fit to stand trial.
My lord, the accused is quite sincere about his beliefs.
Well, there are people who quite sincerely believe that they're Napoleon. Sincerity is no guarantee of soundness of mind.
My lord, I think you may have done great harm to my client by placing doubts on his sanity.
Well, the jury will have their own doubts on hearing about a man going about looking for vampires.
Lord, I must most strongly object to what I consider your prejudicial judgment in this matter.
But we are discussing a man who goes looking for vampires.
If we believe in God, my lord, we must believe in the forces of evil.
This court is a case for facts, Mrs. Brand, not for metaphysical speculation.
But the oath itself, my lord, the Bible the witness swears on, that religion is a religion based on metaphysical speculation.
This trial will be adjourned pending medical evidence on the accused.
All stand.
Dr. John Innes is the senior consultant psychiatrist at the Fulchester Hospital. He's written several books on psychoanalysis and is considered by his peers as one of the leading figures of his profession. He states, "I am of the opinion that Clifford Grant is not suffering from a mental illness. He is interested in the supernatural, and while his views might be thought eccentric, they are held by a number of people, albeit a minority. We have too easily said that these people should be given treatment in the past. But there is no question in my mind, Clifford Grant is a sane and balanced person. His trouble is that he follows his beliefs and practices in public places."
Yes, thank you. The point is made. Members of the jury, it was my duty to make absolutely sure that the accused is fit to stand trial. That is why he was sent to a psychiatrist for examination. Now, I want you to cast all doubts that I expressed before this examination out of your mind. In this case, I was the layman going to the expert. Do you understand? You may continue, Mr. Lloyd.
Thank you, my lord. Now, Mr. Hunt, that night of October the 31st, what happened after you told the accused that there were no vampires in your cemetery?
I told him I was half-hinged. Half as many in a padded cell, less lonely than you.
My lord,
Yes, Mr. Hunt, you will only tell us what you saw and heard. You will not tell us what you thought.
Yes, Mr. Hunt, the 31st of October last year. Please tell the court what happened.
But right at back end of the month it were, there were a knock on my door. And there were this lady. She lives quite close to the cemetery. And she said there were lights and noises coming from there. So I got on my bike and went down straight away. And when I got there was a do going on.
What sort of a do?
Well, when I got to the gates, there were a lot of them running out the church towards the mausoleums. Leaping about the graves, they were half-dressed. Some of them just had cloaks on. And then I saw him dancing with a corpse. And then they all ran back into church, and I thought I'd go across and see what damage they've done. And when I went across, one of the mausoleum doors had been opened, a couple of coffins dragged out, and there were a corpse and a dead cat. And I thought, I'll get them while they're in church. And I ran out and I bumped into him. And he had his wooden stake, and he looked like the devil. "You've gone too far this time," I says. Of course, he denied anything. "I done nothing," he said. "A fine nothing," I said. "Killing cats, going into church, disturbing souls, resting." And I said, "I'm going to get everyone onto him, the police, the vicar, and the RSPCA." And I said, "I'm going for the police now." And then he said, well, first he gave me this funny look, and he said, "I wouldn't do that if I were you." And this look nearly done for me, I swear to God. I went as cold as stone, as true as is my judgment. The blood left me. I felt the hand of death on me.
Then what happened?
There was a lot of noise, and they're all running out of the church, and I turned to Grant, but he was gone. I went across thinking I might grab one of them, but they was gone. And I went into church and there was this corpse on the altar. Then he come in. "There's evil in here," he said. I said, "Yes, you're the evil one. I'm going for the police now." And then he gave me that look again, and he took a piece of chalk out of his pocket, and he drew a circle and a triangle. And then I heard a flapping behind me, and he grabbed me and pulled me towards this triangle, and then he pushed me away, and I tripped and banged my head. And he seemed to reach for something out the sky. And he seemed to be struggling with this grey thing. And then he done something with this thing round his neck. And then he said something. And this thing he was holding seemed to start spinning like a top. Faster and faster it went, like a mist. And then I heard a shriek, a sort of a distant shriek, and then I fainted.
You fainted?
Ah, like I said, I'd banged my head.
Yes, so you were, therefore, in somewhat of a dazed state?
Oh, yes, I was.
So then, Mr. Hunt, can you be quite sure that you saw and heard something apart from the accused in the church?
No, it were banging on my head. It gave me concussion. Well, that's what the doctor said, but it were only mild.
Mm-hmm. Now, when you came to, some minutes later, why didn't you go for the police?
Well, I thought it best to go for vicar. What with that mad look in his eyes and threats it made.
Yes. Thank you, Mr. Hunt. No further questions.
You were in a bit of a state that night, weren't you?
You see hooligans dancing about the graves, dragging corpses about, you'd not be calm.
I'm suggesting that you were in such a state that you were ready to see anything as a threat.
You see some with a big sharp stick, you'll be on your guard.
You let your imagination run a bit wild, didn't you?
What do you mean?
To the extent of imagining that the accused had some special power in his eyes.
I didn't imagine that look, I can tell you.
Now, Mr. Hunt, it seems to me that to date you saw the accused twice. Once, a little over a year ago, hanging about rather late, which is not a criminal offence. And then on this occasion, when he drew a triangle and a circle when he entered the church. Apart from that, you saw nothing, did you?
I saw him that night doing Island Fling with a corpse. You call that nothing? And he broke into church.
Yes, now let me get this clear in my mind. Halloween night. You get on your bike and ride to the church.
Yes.
You arrive and stand by the main gates.
That's
you
right.
see a group of people running out of the church towards the mausoleums, where they leap about the graves.
That's it.
Then they all run back into the church, and you run across to the mausoleums to see what they're up to.
Right.
You find corpses, etc.
Yes.
You decide to catch them red-handed. You run out through the main gates to get the police. And outside the main gates, you bump into the accused.
Yes, that's right.
Wasn't he in the church with the others?
How do you mean?
He was dancing with a corpse, according to you, and then he ran into the church.
Well, he must have run into church when I went to inspect the damage, and then gone out toward the main gates.
To wait for you so that you could recognize him and give evidence against him.
I don't know what he was waiting for, except to stop me going for the police.
Now, when you thought you saw the accused dancing, taking part in this ritual, how close were you?
By the main gates.
How far away?
Not too far.
Oh, come now, Mr. Hunt. A witch's coven at night. You've already told us the power you thought the accused had when he looked at you. That terrified you, didn't it? Made you feel the blood draining from your body.
You wouldn't know.
And are you asking us to believe that you were watching this ceremony from close quarters?
Well, by the main gates.
I see. Well, now, the distance from that gate to the opened mausoleum and the witch's coven is some 75 yards.
I wouldn't know.
I would, Mr. Hunt. It has been carefully measured.
Not that far.
Well, then you weren't by the main gate.
I was on the grass verge.
Well, then, in fact, you were nearer. Some 10 yards nearer. I'll be generous. You were watching the ceremony from some 60 yards.
No, that's more like it.
And are you asking us to believe that you could pick out the accused from that distance?
Yes, I saw him. It was his cloak.
Mr. Hunt, you used to drive a car, didn't you?
What's that got to do with
A
it?
year ago, you were forced to give up driving. Why?
I saw him, I tell you. It was him.
You gave up driving because of your eyesight, didn't you?
It's still good enough to know what I saw.
You still maintain that it was the accused you saw?
Yes. And you won't make us any different. You have to be 100 times.
Well, now, what were the conditions that night? It was a cloudy night, a dark, cloudy night. You were crouched behind a gravestone, other stones blocking your view to a large extent. Well, there was some light, some shadowy, flickering candlelight. But you could only have caught glimpses of people through the stones.
I saw his cloak.
Are we talking about recognizing a cloak or a man, Mr. Hunt? There's more than one black cloak in Fulchester.
I saw him close up, didn't I? By the gates when he threatened me. He had it on then.
Yes, I was just coming to that. When he threatened you, as you put it, he said, "I wouldn't do that if I were you," meaning you shouldn't go to the police.
He had the right idea in the old days. They'd have burnt him for being a witch.
Unfortunately, the law is rather more independent of the church than it was.
Mr. Hunt, you will refrain from comment. You will only tell us what you saw and heard. And, Mrs. Brand, you should know better than to join in on such a level. This case is going to take us into most difficult areas, and I would ask both counsel to tread as straight a path as possible through what we must all be aware is a minefield.
My lord. Well, now, these words the accused spoke to you. "I wouldn't do that if I were you." Those words could have meant, couldn't they, that he knew of some danger if you went to the police, danger perhaps to yourself.
From him?
From something else.
I saw the look in his eyes, I tell you. That man is evil. He had a certain power when he looked at me. He ought to be put away.
You'd have said the same about Jesus Christ.
You comparing yourself with Christ?
You'd have denied him before the cock crowed thrice.
Be silent.
Heathen.
Silence.
Blasphemous heathen.
You will be silent. If you say another word, I'll find you in contempt. Do you understand? I won't have this sort of behaviour, Grant. If you cannot abide by the rules of this court, I shall be forced to continue this trial in your absence. You may continue, Mrs. Brand.
Mr. Hunt, you went straight from the church to the Reverend Mr. Davies' home, didn't you?
Which very near.
Did the accused try to stop you leaving the church?
No.
You could have walked out of the church and gone straight to the police station, couldn't you?
I suppose I could.
Why didn't you? Were you frightened of the accused?
Take more than him to scare me, I can tell you. It was just that when I was in church, you were like cold, sort of a clammy cold. Like you got hot and then gone down to a cold cellar or something.
I put it to you that the accused did not threaten you, that you went straight to the Reverend Mr. Davies' home because you thought that this was something beyond the police, something involving evil spirits.
Yes, him. He's the evil that was in that church.
Now, Mr. Davies, will you tell the court what you saw on the night of October the 31st?
I was called to the church by Mr. Hunt. It was clear that some sort of ritual to the dead, the unborn, and the living had taken place. It looked as though a corpse had been dragged from its coffin to bring its spirit alive. It lay across the smashed altar. There was blood on the skull, probably the blood of a cat. I felt that strange chill in the air that evil spirits bring to a place of worship. Then I saw the accused. I did not speak to him. I crossed into his circle and placed my hands upon his head. And as I touched his head with my hands, I came into contact with the aura, or possessing force. It went off with something like an electric shock. Then he smiled and got up. He moved out of his circle and left the church. Then, together with Mr. Hunt, I cleaned the church. I then performed an exorcism there, but the spirits did not wish to go. You must not think that I personally struggled with these forces. I am merely the channel for God. But I knew that I would not be able to exorcise these forces all at once. It would indeed take some time. I explained this to Mr. Hunt. I said that no harm had come to the living, and so in many ways it was more of a theological matter than a criminal one. Of course, there had been damage to property, and I know I was wrong not to go to the police, but I did not go for the very best of motivations. My major concern was to reconsecrate the holiness of my church. I said, when another grave is touched, then we would go to the police. But it wasn't the graves. It was what happened on February the 3rd that made me take action.
Will you tell the court what happened?
The church was in need of restoration. I was walking around it with the building contractors, reviewing the work that needed to be done. I saw the accused standing by a path watching us. I took no notice of him. Then, as I was pointing up, a brick seemed to dislodge itself, and it crashed down. It was quite a shock. As one of the contractors said, it was almost as though the brick had flung itself at me. Now, the point is that when that section of the roof is removed, an exorcism will be very easy to do. The remaining spirits will not be able to do battle. They will be released from their dark hiding places. It was just after this that the accused crossed towards me and asked me what was going on. I told him about the restoration. Then he gripped my arm and begged me to leave the church as it was. He said that the site of the church had originally been a place of pagan worship, and that was why the spirits would not go away. I told him the restoration work would be carried out. About an hour later, when I'd finished with the building contractors, I went over to my car. I opened the driver's door, and then I could see what was on the driver's seat. A cat with its throat cut. There was a note attached to it, written in blood. I remember the words vividly. You and your sort must not touch Satan's house. God is locked out. The black arts live. Do not interfere, or the quicksands will suck you in.
Does this note appear in the prosecution's exhibits?
I'm very sorry. I was so upset that I burnt it before deciding to go to the police.
Lord, I ask the question not because I doubt the word of the witness on the question of the letter. It is just that if the note had existed, a handwriting expert could have confirmed that it was not written by the accused.
Please continue, Mr. Davis.
As I read this diabolic note, I felt that I was being watched. I looked up. I saw the accused looking at me. And this is just the start, he said. He told me there were forces in the church which I couldn't handle. He said that something very nasty might happen. Well, it was about an hour later, after I'd thought it over, I decided that I would have to go to the police. They could handle the legal side, whilst I enjoined battle with Satan.
My Lord, is all this evidence from the witness acceptable?
What are you asking, Mrs. Brand?
I'm asking, my Lord, whether there's going to be an adjournment pending a psychiatric report on the accused.
No, there's not.
My Lord, when the accused showed that he believed in spirits and things that go bump in the night, he was subjected to such an examination.
And he was found to be of sound mind. No doubt this witness would be too.
But, my Lord, the witness has suggested that the accused willed a brick to drop on his head. Correction, to fling itself at his head. Is the jury to take this accusation seriously?
The jury will decide this case on the facts, Mrs. Brand, and I will so instruct them in my summing up.
I thank you, my Lord. I just wanted to be clear on that point.
Well, I think perhaps there are some spirits trying to tell us it's time to go home. We'll start at 10 o'clock prompt tomorrow morning.
All stand.
Join us tomorrow for the second day of The Queen against Grant in the Crown Court. The case you're about to see is a fictional one, but the procedure is legally accurate. The characters are played by actors, but the jury is selected from members of the general public. Clifford Grant has been accused of entering St. Peter's Cemetery and breaking into mausoleums and removing corpses. He's also charged with desecration of the church and attempting to divert the course of justice. Mr. Davis, the vicar of St. Peter's, is giving evidence. He believes that Clifford Grant is in league with Satan. Today, in the Crown Court, Mr. Lloyd, for the Crown, continues his examination of this witness.
Yes, when the accused told you something nasty would happen if you went ahead with the renovation of the church, how seriously did you take that threat?
I slept with a cross around my neck. I also had herbs placed in my bedroom.
Did anything unpleasant happen?
Yes.
Please tell the court what happened.
I think I should start by saying that I hardly ever dream, but that night I did. It was a very clear dream, not like a dream at all. It was a full moon. I was in the cemetery. I was looking around. I don't know what for. Then I saw the accused. He smiled, moved towards me, and then he seemed to fall into an open grave. Two men appeared to fill the grave with earth. I ran towards them to stop them. He is not dead, I said, pushing them aside. And then quite suddenly, out of the earth, they came.
Who came?
Two arms with hooves, devil's hooves, came out and took hold of me. I was dragged into the earth. I woke up.
And was this the end of the matter?
I put my hands to my face. It was covered with earth.
My lord, I must protest. Is the witness suggesting that his body had been projected from his sleeping place to the cemetery and that his dream actually happened?
Have you any explanation for this earth?
No, I don't. I'm just telling you what happened.
Oh, well, I don't know, I'm sure. Mr. Lloyd, are you going to pursue this dream any further?
No, my lord, I'm not. I have no further questions.
Well, if we could avoid dreams, I would be most grateful.
My lord, I intend to come straight to factual matters.
That will be a great relief to us all, Mrs. Brand.
Mr. Davies, you saw the accused twice.
Yes?
Once inside your church,
Yes.
and then in the cemetery, and beside your car, 3 times, in fact.
Yes.
Did you at any time see him damaging church property?
I did not.
Did you see him place the body of the cat in your car?
I did not.
Did you see him write that note from the followers of Satan?
He is possessed. I can feel the vibrations.
My lord, it is pointless questioning a witness who at no time saw the accused do anything but condemns him because of vibrations. Words fail me. Questions are pointless.
You'll be on soon.
Yes.
Well, it won't make any difference now.
I don't know what it'll do.
In different circumstances, we might have been friends.
I don't think so.
Call Miss Anna Gil.
All you have to do is jump into a river and let the waters wrap around you and be still, and sleep will come. You'd like sleep to come like that.
What is your religion?
Church of... I wish to affirm.
Read aloud the words on this card.
I do solemnly, sincerely and truly declare and affirm that the evidence I shall give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
You are Anna Gil of 7 Stanley Avenue, Fulchester.
Yes.
Are you not well?
Oh, I'm sorry. I was just a bit hot.
Would you like a glass of water?
Oh, yes, please.
Are you recovered?
Thank you.
Do you feel well enough to answer some questions?
Yes, I do.
You may continue, Mr. Lloyd.
Lord, how long have you known the accused?
About a year.
How did you meet him?
Through a friend.
Will you speak up so that the jury can hear you?
Oh, it was through a friend. Well, I met him at a party. The following day at work, my girlfriend told me that Clifford had liked me. He had told her. He said he was looking for somebody to join him in something a bit unusual. I asked him what he meant, and then she said she was a witch.
Were you surprised?
Yes. I'd only ever looked on her as a filing clerk like myself. I work in the town hall.
Oh, witches in the town hall might account for the rise in the rates.
Yes. After your friend told you that she was a witch, did she say anything else?
She said she belonged to Clifford's coven. He was the high priest, and his wife was a high priestess, she said.
Why did she tell you this?
Because Clifford had told her that he wanted me to join.
He was prepared to accept you as an initiate.
She said.
What did you reply?
Well, I laughed.
Why did you laugh?
Well, I thought she was pulling my leg.
Yes, and when did you find out that this wasn't the case?
When I had tea at Clifford's on Sunday.
What happened at that meeting?
We had tea and toasted crumpets.
Yes, after the tea and crumpets.
He showed me over his house. It was big. There were lots of people about. He kept an open house, he said, except for special rooms. He said he'd show me these rooms. There was his sitting room and his bedroom and his temple. He said it was all very serious about him being a witch, but I still thought he was having me on. But I felt very funny in his temple. He said you should take great care when you buy a house from a witch, because sometimes the temple hasn't been deconsecrated. So the power is still there. Well, it can terrify people. The spirits, he said.
He showed you his temple, offered to make you an initiate. Then what happened?
Well, I believed him. I said I would join.
You had no fear of dabbling in something that you didn't fully understand?
Oh, I trusted Clifford. Well, it was the simple, straight way he had of talking. He made it all seem so natural, but different to anything I'd known. He said that I would be made a white witch and enjoy myself. He said that when I was made a witch, the horn god would enter him, the god of the hunt and procreation.
So, were there sexual aspects to this initiation?
Oh, there was kissing and touching in the ceremony. Oh, it was very pure, if that's what you mean.
Now, had you ever been involved in anything like this before?
No.
Never involved in any kind of witchcraft?
No.
Had you read books on the subject?
Well, only children's books where witches fly about on broomsticks.
Yes, yes. So, at the time of your initiation, you'd never involved yourself in any form of Kabbalistic magic?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Secret magic. You'd never been involved in any form of secret magic?
No.
Now, after the initiation, did you find it easy to relinquish any religious beliefs that you might have held?
Well, the way Clifford explained it, being a witch was a religion. And it seemed more real than what I was brought up to believe, because I never discovered religion. It was put on me by older people like a label, so I went all along with Clifford. Well, it was real. And I couldn't get out, even after.
Even after what?
Even after I knew the truth.
And what is the truth?
Well, it happened that night, Halloween. It was late October. We were in Clifford's house, in his temple, when he said we could do something special. He asked me if I'd like to become his high priestess, take his wife's place. I said no. I said I didn't think I could. I didn't think I could become a high priestess so soon. Did he want two of us? Could there be two high priestesses? He said he had separated from his wife. She was gone.
Then what happened?
We went into the cemetery. We took our clothes off and we danced around the tombstones.
This was at the end of October?
Yes.
You took all your clothes off and danced about?
Yes.
I wonder you didn't catch pneumonia.
Then we put cloaks on. Then some others arrived, about 6. I didn't know any of them. This was all very different to anything I'd seen before. Then Clifford broke open the mausoleum and he took a corpse out. He dragged it out and lit a fire under it, trying to raise, to animate its spirit. He'd never done anything like this before. It was brutal. It was horrible. And then the cat. Oh, I just stood there. And he took me by the arm. He dragged me into the church. And then they brought another corpse into the church. And the cat, it was so frightened, so wild, they put it into a sack and it fought. Then they took the Bible from the stand and they tore the pages out and they stamped on them. Then they tried to smash the altar. Then they went round the church, turning all the things round. And I knew this was black, some form of black magic, a black mass, I thought, because that's what you do for evil, turn all the religious things round for the devil. But Clifford said no. He said I was wrong. Then he lit candles, black candles. From a small bag he took a bell, a gong. A ceremonial sword appeared and daggers. I was placed on the altar. I was frightened. But Clifford said no, it was all right. He rang the bell to purify the air, he said. And then he called.
What did he call?
He called.
Yes. What did he call?
He called out to Satan. I tried to get up from the altar, but he said no. He said it was all right. It was just a game. Then he drank something from a chalice, but I knew it wasn't a game. I could feel it in the air, the evil. And I felt quite helpless lying there. I felt I had no will of my own. I heard him call to Satan, and then he put on the horn mask.
One moment, please. Exhibit 8, please. Is this the mask?
Yes.
Please continue.
He put it on, and he came towards me. And he said, I am Satan come into the body of this man. This body is the instrument of Satan. Then he said he wanted a devil child. Then they took the cat out of the sack, and it didn't struggle. Clifford held it over me, and I put up my hands to take it, to hold it. And for a moment it looked... And the next second, the dagger had sliced its throat, and the blood was pouring over me. And then he made love to me on the altar. And then we went into the cemetery and danced again, and then we came back into the church to get our clothes. I never saw the others again. I stayed with Clifford for 6 weeks. I knew I was pregnant. I told him, and I told him I was leaving. I hated him after, but I wanted the baby. And I was having such terrible dreams. I thought, if I get away with my baby before it's born. So I packed my case. And as I came out, Clifford dragged me into the temple. He showed me an effigy, and he said, have you heard of voodooism? As I stood there, he ripped out the place where the heart should be and started sticking pins in. That's what I deserved, he said.
Did he then allow you to leave?
I went into the hallway, and as I got to the front door, he ran after me and grabbed me by the throat and tried to strangle me. Somehow I managed to get out. I just wandered about. I thought, if he finds me, he will kill me. I went to a pub and met some people. They were living round the corner. They were squatting, and I told them I didn't have anywhere to go, to stay. I just said, left it vague. I thought that would be best, living with strangers, because they said there was a room I could have. And I thought then Clifford couldn't find me. I'm sure you think I'm mad. But that's one of the reasons they're safe, the Satanists, because people don't believe, but they are a threat and they're working for evil all the time.
Mr. Lloyd, I must ask you to keep your witness to the point.
Lord, I have no further questions. Please stay there. A learned friend will want to ask some questions.
Let me tell you, Miss Gil, that I, for one, certainly don't believe that you are mad.
Oh, thank you.
No, I believe that you are rather a fanciful liar.
That isn't true.
I suggest that you've been telling this court nothing but lies, malicious lies.
I've told the truth.
My lord, Is the learned friend simply going to bully the witness?
Yes. Mrs. Brand, ask your questions first and come to your assumptions in your closing speech.
My lord. Who are the other people at this form of black mass?
I told you I don't know them.
So you're not accusing the other members of your witches' circle?
The people in the church were different.
Can you tell me where any of them live?
I don't know.
Would you recognize any of them?
I don't think so.
You see, it would help a great deal if there were other witnesses to the accused's alleged sacrilegious behavior in that church. Because you're not altogether unbiased, are you?
I don't know what you mean.
I think you do.
My lord, the learned friend is doing the same thing again. Why doesn't she come to her point?
Yes, Mrs. Brand.
When did you and the accused first become lovers? It was before Halloween, wasn't it?
Yes.
When was it?
I don't remember exactly.
About?
I don't remember.
You became the mistress of the accused in the July of last year, didn't you?
I don't know. Yes.
You moved in with him at the end of July.
I went to stay for a bit.
And it was in September of last year that the accused's wife left home, wasn't it?
No.
Miss Gil, the accused's wife is going to give evidence. If I have to, I can call witnesses who were living in the house at the time. I can call the friends she stayed with.
She did leave. They weren't getting on together.
Didn't she leave because you had moved in?
No.
Didn't she move out because you had taken her place?
They weren't happy together.
Isn't it true that you became the accused mistress very soon after you moved in?
They're not married. Not in the Christian sense. They held a witch's ceremony. That's the only marriage they have.
You told this court that you only learned that she had gone on October the 31st, but she did in fact leave her home in the end of September that year.
She was coming back until then. It was that night he told me they were finishing their relationship. It was that night he took me in the church on the altar. And there were other ceremonies, evil ceremonies. Don't you dare make me out to be a liar. Don't you dare. There were ceremonies to raise up spirits and call up vampires and werewolves and rituals to destroy enemies. He's the liar. Do you hear?
You have quite a temper, Miss Gil.
What?
You started by giving your evidence so quietly that the court could hardly hear you. Now you are showing us a really passionate temper. Would you describe yourself as a passionate person?
Not really, I don't know.
A possessive person?
No.
And when you learned that you could no longer keep the accused, that he was going back to his wife, you became wild and savage. Isn't that the truth?
He tried to strangle me. He grabbed me by the throat.
The day that you left, the day Clifford Grant asked you to leave, you attacked him with a knife.
No.
Do you deny stabbing him?
It was to defend myself.
So you stabbed him in the face, slashing his cheek open. Isn't that true?
He started barking and snarling and foaming at the mouth. He turned into something like a werewolf. That's why I attacked him.
So you admit you attacked him?
I was defending myself.
You stabbed him in the face because he was going back to his wife. Isn't that true?
He grabbed me by the throat.
How did you get the knife?
What do you mean?
He grabbed you by the neck. How did you get hold of the knife? Was it to hand?
Yes.
The knives were in the temple?
Yes.
You already told the court that you were in the hallway by the front door when he grabbed you.
He made an effigy and tore the heart out of it.
Answer my question. How did the knife come into your hand? Were you able to make it fly through the air?
Oh, I don't know how I got it. I don't remember.
Do you remember anything? That October visit to the graveyard. You took part in a ceremony, didn't you?
Yes.
But not with the accused.
Yes, with him.
You found that the accused's white magic circle failed to satisfy you, and you joined the satanic extremists, didn't you?
That isn't true.
And you tried to persuade Clifford to join you in black magic.
That's a lie.
Desperate to hold on to him, you conceived an hysterical pregnancy.
It was real.
Where's the baby?
It died.
How convenient.
Oh, that's terrible.
What doctor did you go to?
I didn't.
What medical evidence do you have to offer?
He made me lose it. He made me get rid of it.
There is no evidence that you were ever pregnant, is there?
He took it away.
But you were hiding it from him.
He did!
I put it to you that your wild jealousy is making you lie about this man so that you might destroy him.
They must be working on you.
Who must be?
They can, you know. That's why you're saying these things. They'll believe you as well.
Who will make us believe these things about you?
Satan, of course. He'll make you believe because he is stronger. You are being an instrument of Satan.
I've been called many things in my time.
Mr. Lloyd, Did you know that your witness held this sort of belief?
My lord, her views are apparently odd, but they're certainly no more eccentric than those of the accused, or even Mr. Davis.
Miss Gil, about the stabbing and the ceremony that took part in the cemetery that night. By your own admission, you had been living with the accused for some weeks. Now, these are the people who took part. Had you never seen them in the accused's home?
He's getting into you now. You see, you are Satan now. It was only a matter of time.
I cannot allow this witness to continue giving evidence.
My lord, this witness is the prosecution's main witness. She's quite clearly not to be relied on. She's not fit to give evidence. Nothing she says can be used against my client. I suggest that you have no choice but to throw the prosecution's case out and stop this trial.
Yes, Mr. Lloyd. No, I will decide that. There are other witnesses. There is the vicar, Mr. Davis, whom we've heard, and we've yet to hear the evidence from the police. No, I believe there's a case to answer.
All I have to do is jump into the
Help her out.
and let the water wrap around me and be still. Sleep will come, but light sleep will come like that.
My lord, I think I might be able to help her.
All I have to do is jump into the river and let the water wrap around me.
Come out.
Still.
Out! All you evil spirits. Leave the body of this girl. Get out. Get back. Go away. You don't belong. Out! Jesus, give me the strength. In the name of Jesus Christ our Lord, I command you, evil spirits, to harm no one, but go back to the place appointed for you. Get out! Get back! Go away!
The case of the Queen against Grant will be concluded tomorrow in the Crown Court. The case you're about to see is a fictional one, but the procedure is legally accurate. The characters are played by actors, but the jury is selected from members of the general public. Yesterday saw some of the most bizarre scenes ever witnessed at Fulchester Crown Court. Anna Gil accused the judge of being in league with Satan, and then she went into a trance and talked about drowning herself. As she was being helped from the court, the Reverend Davis placed his hands on her head and attempted to perform an exorcism.
I went round to the accused's home on February the 3rd of this year. I was invited in.
What did you find inside?
Dracula's castle.
Oh, really, my lord? I must protest.
Yes. No, Sergeant Rice, this won't do, you know. You are a professional in matters of the law. You should know better. You will tell us what you found inside.
Oh, well, my lord. The accused showed me into a smallish sitting room, decorated in black. We sat at a coffee table, which was made of a tombstone. I knew this because it still bore the inscription of the late gentleman whose earthly remains it had once guarded. In one corner was a huge skeleton, and in another a stuffed bat. The floor was painted blood red, and there were what I took to be gargoyles painted black.
Dracula's castle does seem to be a very apt description.
Really, my lord, I would like it noted that I take exception to the extremely prejudicial remarks you have been making throughout this case.
Well, the jury will have come to their own conclusions about the home of the accused. Carry on, Mr. Lloyd.
Lord, did you question the accused?
I did. I asked him if he was involved in black magic. He said that he was not. I asked him if he was responsible for placing a mutilated cat in the car of the Reverend Davis. Again, he denied the allegation. I asked him if he had threatened the vicar. He said that the vicar had misunderstood.
Then what did you do?
I went back to the station. That afternoon, I received an anonymous phone call telling me I should ask Clifford Grant for the address of his girlfriend. I therefore returned to the accused's home.
Did he give you this address?
He said, "This has gone on long enough. Something has to be done about it."
Ah. Now, what did you take that to mean?
It was said in the tone of a threat. I asked him if it was a threat. He smiled. The next morning, I received through the post a voodoo doll with pins through the cheeks and through the breast.
The following morning, did you say?
Yes, my lord.
Oh, I didn't know the post office still did that.
They did on this occasion, my lord.
Yes, did you then return to the accused's home?
I did with a search warrant. This time I went into what the accused called his temple. There I found an altar, a table covered with a black cloth on which was a chalice, and either side a dagger.
Exhibits 4 and 5, please. Are these the daggers?
They are.
What else did you find?
In the bedroom I found a picture of a vampire.
Exhibit 7, please.
How did you know it was a vampire? Oh, I see. Yes, not much doubt there with teeth like that.
What else did you observe?
In the bedroom, everything was painted black. Black walls, black sheets. A bit like a Hammer horror film, really.
Lord, I don't understand the relevance of black wallpaper and black sheets on the bed. Is my client going to be judged on his tastes in decor?
It is on the unusual side.
Yes, Sergeant, leaving aside the decor, did you find anything else?
I found photographs of what appeared to be an orgy taken in a cemetery. Young ladies lying naked in coffins. On the bedside table, I found another voodoo doll. The section representing the heart had been torn out. I therefore asked the accused to accompany me to the police station, and after advising him of his rights, charged him.
Yes, thank you, Sergeant.
What colour are the sheets on your bed?
I don't remember.
This is not relevant to the case, Mrs. Brand.
It has as much relevance as the colour of the accused's sheets. No further questions.
That is the case for the prosecution, my lord.
My lord, I call the accused.
What is your religion?
Nonconformist. I mean that literally. I do not conform. Although I'm not an atheist, you understand.
You are Clifford Grant of 105 Elm Tree Road, Fulchester.
Yes, I am. When my wife and I moved into that house some years ago, it had a number. We gave it a name. We called it Greystones. A letter addressed to Greystones would reach us.
I think it might be instructive if you begin by telling us something about your form of religion.
I'm a follower of the religion known as Wicca, commonly known to the press as witchcraft. It dates back, we believe, thousands of years. It does not deny the existence of God or of the devil. It accepts the existence of God. The main principle, the principal difference is the acceptance of a goddess.
How did you become a member of the Wicca religion?
I was born a witch. My mother was a witch.
Would you tell us the difference between white and black magic?
White magic is for good. Black magic, black witches and magicians deal in their black craft to gain power for themselves, to gain power for evil.
Have you ever been involved in black magic?
No, I haven't, but I have seen it work.
How have you seen it?
When they thought I threatened them.
When who thought?
The Satanists. Extreme Satanists.
What did they do?
You will probably find this incredible. They sent a young man to me who, in the night, turned into a serpent. I defended myself by waving my pentagram at the creature, and I threw salt over it.
Salt, I see.
The first charge against you is for breaking open mausoleums at St. Peter's Church. Were you at St. Peter's Cemetery on October the 31st?
Yes, I was, but I did not break open the mausoleum.
Did you see the person or persons responsible for this act?
Yes, indeed I did. It was a band of black witches that I'd seen often. They had taken over the church and the cemetery because they said it was an old pagan place.
But you were not a member of this black coven?
No, I was not.
Did you happen to go along by chance?
No, I followed someone.
Whom did you follow?
I followed Anna Gil, the woman known to this court as my mistress. I followed her to St. Peter's Cemetery. I stayed outside the gate. She went in. After about 15 minutes, I heard a sound of chanting. I saw the Satanists. Anna was with them. I wanted to rescue her, but their power was too great. And then I saw the cemetery foreman. I tried to explain to him, but he was in a terrible state. I told him not to go to the police. And then I saw a large black bat. And there was a noise from the church, and people came rushing out and went round the back. And the foreman went further into the cemetery and then into the church. He was followed by the bat. It was then I knew for certain that the black witches were in league with the vampires.
In league with vampires?
The vampire can change its form. The bat was a vampire.
So you went to search out this vampire?
I went to see what Anna was doing.
Did you at any point threaten Mr. Hunt?
No, I did not.
Did you at any time threaten anyone?
No. I warned Mr. Hunt, and I told the vicar when the cat was thrown into the car that this was only the start. And as far as the police were concerned, I did not send a voodoo doll to Detective Sergeant Rice. Voodooism only exists in places where it is accepted, in a less cultured, less developed society, where witch doctors still practice their medicine, where people are more suggestible. In my opinion, Detective Sergeant Rice is the least suggestible subject to voodooism that I've ever come across.
Thank you, Mr. Grant. No further questions, my lord.
So you're saying, then, that you've never held a ceremony of any sort except in your own temple?
That's right.
Now, Mr. Grant, I suggest that you are the leader of a Satanist group, and that this group is, among other things, an excuse for sexual orgies.
You can suggest what you like.
Do you admit that there is a certain amount of touching at your initiation ceremony?
Yes, but it is pure and innocent.
Yes. And you do admit that you made love to your mistress in your temple?
Yes.
And you do admit that you made love to her on your altar?
Yes, on the altar in my temple. It was an act of the goddess of fertility. In the act of making love, one comes closest to the gods.
And this coming closest to the gods, or Satan, is this how you justified your desecration and love-making on the altar of St. Peter's Church?
I did not do that.
Now, how many witches are there in Fulchester?
There are a great many in this area.
And you're one of them?
Yes.
A black witch?
A white witch.
You were seen dancing with a corpse by the cemetery foreman?
Someone was dancing with the corpse. I saw it. I was standing behind the foreman.
Yes, you ran out of the church after your orgy, and you danced on the graves.
I could hardly be in two places at once, unless I were flying on a broomstick.
Were you?
No, please, Mr. Lloyd. We are, I hope, nearing the end. Try and keep on terra firma.
Yes, my lord. Now, I suggest that you came out of the church, you danced with a corpse, you saw a shadow, a figure in the shadows, Mr. Hunt, and when the others returned to the church, you crept away back to the main gates in order to wait for the cemetery foreman and to threaten him.
No, I did not. Although it does sound possible. I did not threaten Mr. Hunt. I told him not to go to the police because I believed him to be in great danger.
Why was he in great danger?
From the vampire.
Oh, please. Can we try and stick to the facts?
As far as I am concerned, that is a fact. I went into the church after the vampire.
Is this an elaborate tale to explain what you were doing in the church and why you drew magical marks on the floor?
I drew a triangle for the vampire and a circle for myself. The circle was for my protection. I was trying to enmesh the vampire in a psychic web. When I pushed Mr. Hunt aside, it wasn't to harm him, it was to get him out of the way. The whirling sound, the spiral of mist, the sudden flash of light. These were the particles of the vampire as it decomposed. The noiseless shriek he described was the soul going to its proper position. Mr. Hunt fainted because the vampire had lost its power. And he is now quite well.
Yes, he's quite well. And are you quite sure you're not making all this up?
Quite sure.
Yes, you're quite sure that you didn't threaten Mr. Hunt not to go to the police because you didn't want to be caught?
Quite sure.
Yes, you're quite sure you didn't threaten the vicar?
Quite sure.
What you said to him sounded like a threat.
What I said to him was, and this is only the start.
As you both looked at the body of a dead cat that had been mutilated.
That's right.
Now, you weren't very helpful when the police questioned you, were you?
I tried to be as helpful as possible, but I thought they were blundering into something they didn't understand.
Yes, did you threaten Detective Sergeant Rice?
No, I did not.
Did you tell him you didn't like the way things were going?
I meant the way the Satanists were getting on top.
And is that why you sent a voodoo doll to the sergeant?
How do you mean?
To get him off the case.
I have just said that voodooism only exists in cultures where it is accepted.
Yes, what I'm suggesting is that you thought you had enormous powers, and when you threatened the sergeant and he took no notice, you sent him a voodoo doll because you thought that might work. I mean, after all, you are capable of dislodging stones from walls, aren't you?
I did not send him a voodoo doll. I have never made one.
One was found in your bedroom, with its heart torn out and pins in its head.
That was an effigy of me.
Of yourself, really? You stick pins in yourself, do you?
It was made by Anna Gil, the day I told her to go, the day she attacked me.
Let me refresh your memory. Miss Gil said that it was 6 weeks after you'd fornicated on the altar of St. Peter's Church that she told you she was leaving you, and you attacked her and tried to force her to stay, and you dragged her into the temple, and you tore the heart out of the effigy.
That night, Halloween night, I came back to the house and I held a ceremony in my altar to get rid of any spirits. I did not accuse Anna of being a Satanist. I tried to help her. I tried to care for her for 6 weeks. And then one day I went into my temple and there were signs that she had been in there. There were satanic symbols all over the place. I thought then, as I think now, that she was being used by the Satanists. But I had no choice. Their power was greater than mine. I could not allow her to weaken me any longer. I said she must go. She went upstairs and I followed her. She was packing. I came down and started to clean up the temple. I knew it would have to be reconsecrated. I saw Anna standing in the doorway with a voodoo doll in her hand. She screamed at me that she would not go. If I insisted on her going, she would tear the heart out of the doll. I told her I was not susceptible to voodooism. She said the Satanists had a certain form of voodooism that would get through to me. I said she must go. She then tore the heart out of the doll, and I felt a sudden pain. I knew that voodooism would not work on me, and yet I felt this sharp pain. She then began sticking pins in the doll's head. I snatched the doll from her and I put it on the altar. I then began to make a charm against the voodooism. I went over to Anna and I said, "Let me help you." She turned. Her face was twisted like an animal's. She brought her hand from underneath her coat. She held a ceremonial dagger. She struck at me and tore my face. I grabbed hold of her. I knocked the knife from out her hand. She ran out of the temple. There was blood pouring from my face. I telephoned my wife, and she came over. I had 12 stitches in my cheek.
Look, Mr. Grant, I'm afraid what took place in your temple is simply your word against that of your mistress. No further questions, my lord.
My lord, I would like to call the accused's wife, Tanith Grant.
What is your religion?
I wish to affirm.
Read aloud the words on this card.
And I'd like you to keep yourself to facts, Mrs. Grant, so far as possible. Do you understand?
Yes.
You were the high priestess at your husband's coven.
Yes, I am again.
When did you return to your husband?
The night he phoned and said that she'd attacked him.
No. Only what you saw and heard yourself, not what you were told.
It was the middle of December last year. Clifford phoned me. I went round and I found he had a split cheek. I took him to hospital. We told them that he'd fallen down.
Did you enter the place known as the Temple that night?
Yes, I did.
And what did you find?
I found symbols of the Satanist cult.
And what did you do?
When we got back from the hospital, we scrubbed out the temple and reconsecrated it.
Now, during the period before Anna Gil replaced you as High Priestess, had you taken part in any ceremonies outside of your husband's temple?
No, I hadn't.
Had you taken part in any ceremony in St. Peter's Cemetery?
Never. We're white witches.
Have you ever belonged to a Satanist's coven?
I've only belonged to my husband's coven. Unless it changed while I was away, it's always been a white magician's circle. It certainly is now.
Were you with the accused on February the 3rd?
If you mean, did I go to St. Peter's with him? Yes, I did.
Will you tell the court what happened?
Well, we went there in the morning and I was passing... Well, we both were, but I was nearest the car. The car with the cat. Its blood all over the seat. I grabbed Clifford's arm. He said, "That's the vicar's car. It's just the start of what they'll do." And then Clifford sent me back to the temple to prepare a ceremony against evil spirits.
Thank you, Mrs. Grant. No further questions, Lord.
Are you telling this court lies in order to protect your so-called husband?
No, I'm not.
Are you telling this court lies because you wish to return to the accused?
I am back with him. It isn't a question of wishing.
Now, you say that when you returned home last December, you found your temple full of Satanist symbols.
Yes.
Now, the accused might have drawn those satanic symbols.
Why would he have done that?
If you were both Satanists, and if you'd both dragged an innocent young girl into your circle.
You forget this innocent young girl was the one who made me leave my own home.
Now, why did you decorate your own home in black wallpaper? And why did you have black sheets on the bed?
We like black.
The devil's colour.
There are quite a few people in this court who are wearing some black. Are they Satanists?
Why did you and your husband keep a painting of a vampire?
It's quite a good painting.
Yes, why did you keep it?
Why do people hang paintings by Bosch? Do you think anyone who hangs one of his prints is necessarily evil?
And what about the horned mask?
What about it?
What did you do with it?
I wore it in the bath.
You will answer the question properly.
I'm sorry, I was serious. I wore it for fun. I'm afraid you might think it's a bit kinky, but we did make love sometimes with Clifford wearing it.
You made love whilst your husband wore a horned mask?
Not always.
And did the accused make love to you on the altar of St. Peter's Church?
No. What we did in our own home. Just because you might be frustrated and inhibited, it gives you no right to judge others.
I'm suggesting that you took part in satanic ceremonies.
My lord, if the prosecution is making this suggestion, has he any evidence to substantiate his allegation?
Well, only, my lord, to say that ordinary people do not hang paintings of vampires, do not wear horned masks, and do not decorate their houses in black.
We're hardly talking about ordinary people in this case.
Lord. Now, the day you say you went with the accused to St. Peter's Church, the day you say you saw the cat in the vicar's car. Yes, well, I put it to you that you helped the accused put the cat in the car.
But that's just not true. Clifford wouldn't even have noticed it if I hadn't have pointed it out to him.
And I further suggest to you that you know your husband to be a Satanist, and you are lying to this court in order to protect him.
If I thought my husband had any involvement in the satanic cult, I'd be the first to cast a stone. I wouldn't want to know him. I certainly wouldn't want to live with him.
No further questions, my lord.
Will the foreman please stand? Please answer this question yes or no. Are you agreed upon your verdict on all charges?
We are.
On the first charge, damage to church property, do you find the accused guilty or not guilty?
Not guilty.
On the second charge, attempting to divert the course of justice by issuing threats against Detective Sergeant Rice, do you find the accused guilty or not guilty?
Not guilty.
On the third charge, attempting to divert the course of justice by issuing threats against the Reverend Howard Davis, do you find the accused guilty or not guilty?
Not guilty.
You can join us again when our cameras return to bring you another case in the Crown Court.